Hey, it's Dustin with the Davidson Group here with your August 20th market update. This week, we're going to be talking about national statistics and what's going on across the nation in regards to housing. Hey, guess what? We're still in a seller's market. We've been talking about that for weeks and weeks on end. That trend has not changed. There is, though, a slight change in the market, and I think it's important that you know about that. Let's dive in. So, as you know, we've been running in this crazy seller's market for years and years and years. But it's intensified since COVID, and we've talked about that month over month, week over week. Every time we have this conversation, we talk about where we are in that point. We talk about absorption rates, those things you all know about. What we're seeing though right now across the nation and here locally is we're starting to see a few of our buyers step away from the market. So what does this mean for you? This means that those buyers where we had a very strong buyer pool, well, now we have a strong buyer pool, or maybe even a stable buyer pool in some areas. And so we still have plenty of buyers out there, that we still have plenty of people making offers on properties. But when you hear these stories of some place on the East Coast that had 72 offers in 24 hours, we're not seeing quite the activity as that. We still are seeing homes with multiple offers. We're still seeing homes with high activity. But really, as a seller, we can't just pick a point on the map or pick a point on the price board and say, let's just shoot for there and see what happens. We have to be a little bit more methodical about that process to know buyers are still willing to pay at asking price. We're still seeing those multiple offer situations, but we're not seeing it tens of thousands above or well above those prices. We're hovering around that list price. And so we have to be mindful of that whenever we go and enter into the market. If you're a buyer, what this means for you is if you've lost out or you've been sitting back, now is the time to step into the market, to claim your territory, say, hey, I'm here, and move forward with force. Because though you may be up against other individuals in that same price point, in that same neighborhood, you are going to have a better opportunity right now in this market than we have had over the past several months. People are still talking about an imminent crash or something coming up on the horizon, and the statistics and data still indicate nowhere near the case that is going to happen. We actually still anticipate home prices to continue to increase month over month, year over year. It's just we're going to be a more stable increase. So we're not going to have this exponential curve where we have housing prices that are leaps and bounds different week over week, month over month. We're going to start to see some stability arise in the market in that sense. So that is a very good thing for us. One, as a seller, no, there's still plenty of activity, plenty of buyers out there in the marketplace. Depending on your price point, you may have still multiple offers on your home. Scenario a week ago had a property that had 9 offers on it within within less than 24 hours in our marketplace. So we still have that happening here. We still have that happening locally, but know that we don't have quite as many buyers in the market. So as a home seller, you have to be mindful of that. You have to connect with a real estate professional, and you have to do your due diligence to make sure that you enter the market properly. Again, if you're a buyer, rates are still good, but they're going to continue to rise. They're going to continue to rise month over month. We're projecting that through 2020, we're going to see that mid-3 range. So if you're looking to make a purchase and you've been held back because you didn't want to jump into this crazy madness of what real estate's been over the past several months, now's the time. Have the conversation, ask the questions, and prepare a plan to enter into the market and to get the property you want while those rates are still relatively low and while we're still in a good position. The market is still a seller's market. And that's something that you guys are going to hear for months and months to come. That is something that's not going to change. The indication, the data is definitely not signifying that we're going to have a housing bubble or a housing crash. We're not going to see a lot of foreclosures flood the market. If all the foreclosures flooded the market right now, we would still be at a deficit from a housing shortage standpoint of the number of houses needed in order to fulfill that difference. So we're still in a very strong position from a market standpoint, but do know that we are changing, and part of that's probably seasonality. Part of that is just transitioning in and getting ready for fall, getting ready for back to school, getting ready for preparing for winter, and just either made a transition or pushing off till a future time. but there's still people in the marketplace. There's still people making purchasing and selling decisions. If you're on the fence, if you've been thinking about jumping in but we're hesitant, the best thing that you can do, that you can always do, is connect with a local professional, have a conversation, and really just figure out and see where you stand. You may be in a position where you need to take action right now. You may be in a position where you need to hold and wait for some time to come. But it's worth having a conversation. It's worth figuring out what that looks like for you as an individual, as a family, and knowing what you want to do moving forward. Hey, this is our week's market update. Hope this message has found you well. Hopefully you found some value out of it. I'm sure you were not surprised in finding out we're still in a seller's market. But until next week, have a good one.